Hello, everyone. In the American Higher Education class that I'm taking at Georgia Southern, we were asked to do an interview with someone from Student Services that carries a higher position than myself. I work at North Georgia Technical College and I am the Dean of the Adult Education Department. For my interview, I chose Dr. Mike King, the Vice President of Student Affairs at North Georgia Technical College. Dr. Mike King has been the Vice President of North Georgia Technical College for the past 17 years. Dr. King has a master's in counseling and a doctorate in counseling psychology. At the beginning of his career, he spent 5 years in the private hospital sector. He then transferred to Warm Springs, where he spent 14 years working as a psychiatrist. He enjoyed working directly with patients, but he said there was something missing. He wanted more of a challenge and to be able to work with younger people in a school setting. He found the position of vice president and received the position in 2000. Being at the end of his career, his aspirations is to retire from education and possibly do some consulting work in counseling. What is the mission of the Student Affairs Department at North Georgia Technical College? Student Affairs provides prospective and current students with the support services necessary to be successful in attaining their educational goals to lead them to a chosen career. This collection of services in the Office of Student Affairs encompasses recruitment, admissions, financial aid, campus life, registrar, disability services, resident hall services, and career planning and job search services. Student Affairs is a very challenging department, especially at a technical college. Being a school that focuses on workforce development, there are so many components that revolves around student services. Recruitment, admissions, financial aid, campus life, registrar, disability services, resident hall services, and career planning are just the major areas of student services. Dr. King was very excited to talk about the best and worst parts of working in student affairs. He said that the most rewarding part was being able to work with the students while they are in the application process, then following them through until graduation. In his department, he also works with retention, and he said that being around the students is very fulfilling. He also enjoys the location. Being in the mountains of Northeast Georgia, our 3 campuses are nestled in a very majestic wooded and landscaped setting. Dr. King said that just the location makes it worth getting up every morning. And finally, he said that being able to place students in their desired career pathway was unique to a technical college. He said that being able to see the end of their time at North Georgia Tech when they first begin is very rewarding. But where there are good things, there are also bad. Dr. King said that the most challenging and worst thing about student affairs is the resident hall. North Georgia Tech is the oldest technical school in Georgia and one of the 2 that have dorms. Dr. King said there are issues at any time of the day with everything from stealing to male and female issues. As we were in the interview, Dr. King received a call about a dorm issue. He laughed and said, "This is the perfect example." Beside the usual unexpected changes, the other issue that's challenging is the everyday routine paperwork, as well as the manuals and procedures that go with student affairs. Dr. King said that just sitting at his desk doing the same paperwork day after day is not rewarding at all. What is the organizational chart of the Student Affairs Department? In this question, we were asked to talk about the staffing and the structure of the department. When Dr. King took the position of Vice President of Student Affairs, he changed the system and only has 6 people who report directly to him. Only the Dean, Administrative Assistant, Admissions Director, Student Affairs Director, Financial Aid Director, and Campus Police Chief report directly to him. He has the other people in his department report to the 6, and then they bring their concerns to him. He stated by making this change, it has made things run much smoothly in his department. So what has changed in the Student Affairs Department in the last 5 years. It was very refreshing to hear Dr. King say the Student Affairs Department has had no major changes in the last 5 years. The only two things that have changed is that he consolidated the admissions director and registrar director positions. He was also able to expand a few positions to full-time over the last 5 years. What are the current issues that are facing in student affairs? With all the shootings and terrorist attacks in the schools, it has become more and more important for schools to practice safety drills such as the active shooter drill. Dr. King said that this is one of the main issues and concerns with the state and a very hot topic, and that is creating a behavior intervention team, or BIT as it's called. The Behavior Intervention Team is a multidisciplinary group whose purpose is meeting regularly to support its target audience, which is staff, employees, faculty, via an established protocol. The team tracks red flags over time, detecting patterns, trends, and disturbances in individual or group behavior. The team receives reports or disruptive, problematic, or concerning behaviors of misconduct from either coworkers, community members, friends, or colleagues, conducts an investigation, performs a threat assessment, and determines the best mechanism for support, intervention, warning, notification, and response. The team then deploys its resources and the resources of the community and coordinates follow-up. Of course, he also brought the issue back up with the dorms. He laughed and he said, "I guess you know what is always on my mind." The final issue he's having is how to redesign the retention director position to increase the retention rate at the school, which is another big topic right now in community colleges. When I asked Dr. King about the budgetary status of his department, he said that the revenue and expenses change each semester with his department, so that he did not have an amount that he's budgeted at the beginning of the year. He did say that every year they are in the black with revenue from his department. What are the biggest accomplishments and difficulties over the last 5 years in student affairs? He did say that the accomplishments, he had to give credit to the whole school as well. Dr. King said that the entire school only had one recommendation with accreditation, and his department had none. This is a major accomplishment for anyone who deals with SACS and QEP. In addition, our dual enrollment program is outstanding and currently has 400 dual enrolled high school students on our 3 campuses. Dr. King was very proud when he was talking about how the school has had 10 consecutive terms of sustained employment. He added that when other technical colleges around the state are showing a decrease in enrollment, North Georgia Tech is always showing an increase. The only difficulties that he has seen over the past 5 years, and coming from a personal standpoint, was the fact that the president's position has changed several times over the past 5 years, which makes it difficult for administration. He said that this just makes it hard to keep procedures consistent because every president has a different view of how the school needs to be run. So what are the major plans for the future in student services? The major plans for the Student Affairs Department were repetitive to our earlier conversation. Dr. King wants to fill his vacant positions, develop the behavior intervention team, but then he also wants to find ways to keep up with technology that will make things flow better for the students. He said that social media is too prominent in the lives of the younger students, and we have to evolve and make sure that we are using Twitter, Instagram, and texting to relate to the younger generation. It did not take long for Dr. King to answer my question on the major issues facing higher education today. His answer was simply tuition increase, tuition increase, tuition increase. As higher education administration, we have to be aware of the ongoing increase in tuition. We have to find ways to assist students so they can afford an education. This is why a technical college is such a good alternative. Dr. King said with the tuition being only $85 a credit hour, a technical college is the better choice. He also said that most starting salaries from a technical college degree is substantially higher than someone with a 4-year degree. Dr. King said that tuition needs to be the focus in higher education. After I was done with the interview process, I sat back and I thought, what did I take away from this interview and how my reactions were? And I had 3 things. Respect for the person, respect for the position, and respect for the school. I was very impressed with my interview with Dr. King. I deal with him at all of the board meetings and committees on campus, and I see him day to day, so I'm used to his personality and the way he handles himself in a one-on-one setting. But I was very surprised that I was a little intimidated sitting there talking with him about these personal questions. But I was not surprised at his enthusiasm when he talked about the students on campus. You can tell that he truly has a passion for what he does. Even though I respect Dr. King, unless I reported directly to him, I do not know if I would want to work in his department. I guess I'm used to my department and how I run things. I really liked this interview experience. I think I enjoyed the interview because I do respect him. I do respect what he does. I value what he says, and I value what he has done for our technical school.